What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Footy Fetish podcast with myself and Ollie today.
Yo.
Yo, how you doing, my man?
Very good, mate. Yourself?
Yeah, not bad. Been a long day, just
Preach.
uni stuff and work and shit like that. So yeah, but it's been good. It's been good. It's nice to get on the podcast and chat a bit of footy with you.
Hi, pal. I was saying
After...
to you the other day that it was it just doesn't feel like the football's got back to normal since like the whole Christmas thing and
Yeah,
the African Cup of Nations, everything like that, and the winter break and everything. It's just one thing after the other. It doesn't feel like football's got back to normal yet.
no, 100%. And it's now, well, I guess it's now getting back to normal. So we had the midweek games. We obviously had games like on, what was it? We have Do we have Monday? Tuesday?
No,
Tuesday, Wednesday.
Thursday.
And then today as well, we've got the Liverpool-Leicester game and the Wolves versus Arsenal game kicking off at 7:45, which should be good games. Might just watch both, to be fair. Do a little double screen thing.
Nice.
But yeah, and then back to the weekends, which is nice. I apologise to anyone if you can hear me going. I've got a bit of a hoarse throat after we were at a gig on Monday, and it's the first gig I've been to in obviously
just
a little while.
popping a quick soother in now.
Yeah, it's the first gig we've been to in obviously a couple of years, and I can't hang with these kids as we used to be able to, Ollie, now.
Oh no, mate. No.
I'm still feeling the effects of this
Oh
gig.
no, 3 days later, and all that dad dancing and singing is taking its toll.
Come back to haunt me. But yeah, before we get into, obviously, you know what the deal is now that we're back into the swing of things. We'll be doing a bit of review of the football that's happened over the week, and then get into the previews of the weekend. But I just wanted to run through a couple of football things first that's happened during the week. Obviously, the big one this time. I feel like we can't get on a podcast at the moment without having to discuss some bullshit that football players do, man. Obviously, we had the Mason Greenwood thing last time. We sort of brushed over that. We didn't want to get too into that because we didn't really know the ins and outs of what was going on legally and with the police and everything in that situation. But the most recent one is West Ham's Kurt Zouma. Well, now he's been suspended and fined 2 weeks' wages, which accumulates up to about 250 grand, they say, for after a video emerged of him kicking his cat and punching his cat and all that kind of thing in front of his kids and his missus, and it was a bit of a horrible video and a bit of a horrible time, to be honest. Yeah, there's been a lot of controversy around the whole thing. Yeah, and then he only started a matter of hours later for West Ham.
Yeah,
when David Moyes was asked about it, he was like, "Yeah, he's our player. He's a good player, so he's not being whatever." I don't know, but now obviously since the backlash, they seem to have suspended him, fined him.
Yeah,
so,
if they'd done that 24 hours earlier, then I think they would have been all right. But the fact that they started him, and then now, after all the uproar and stuff, people are now saying, "Oh, what the fuck? Why have you started him?" and all that sort of stuff, and they're going, "Oh god, this is actually really bad for us." Let's now suspend him and now fine him and everything like that. It's just stupid.
I'm not in the camp of he should never play football again. I'm in the camp of that he should be punished, and then once he's punished accordingly, then yeah, fine, get back to it, because we've had much bigger things. Well, specifically a lot of known, racist people that have, or not necessarily racist people, but people that have done racist things in football have since continued their career. So why should Kurt Zouma? Do you know what I mean? That kind of thing. But yeah, obviously, like, it should be dealt with accordingly, and he has been now, which is great. And I saw that his brother's been banned by Accrington Stanley, I think it was.
No, Dagenham and Redbridge.
No, Dagenham and Redbridge. Yeah, Dagenham and Redbridge. He's been suspended as well, which I didn't expect to happen, to be honest. But fair play.
Yeah.
Had to be done. But yeah, Kurt Zouma, what a dickhead. I don't know if you knew this, Ollie, but Steve Bruce has taken over as West Brom manager.
I did hear things were in the pipeline, but I didn't know it had been officially announced.
Yeah, so he's taken over as West Brom manager, and his first game they lost 2-0 to Sheffield United, and got a man sent off in the process of it.
You'd love to see it.
I saw a lot of West Brom fans on my Twitter going absolutely mental. I don't really know how this man's got a job, considering the last time he was in the Championship he came 16th, I think it was, with Aston Villa, with the most expensive squad in the league, and then that next season they got promoted. So once they fired him, so I don't really know how he's got involved and wrangled himself a new job. He is not a good manager anymore. I suppose he was at some point. He was a very serviceable manager, but not so much anymore. And the last bit of news is, I don't know if you know this, Ollie, but Dan Ashworth has resigned as technical director for Brighton. Obviously, he's done a fantastic job with that team, with the signings and the academy, and the appointment of Graham Potter and everything like that. And he's now taking the new director of football role at Newcastle, which is going to be huge. That sort of influence that has done Brighton so well, and now in Newcastle with their resources. It's a huge move for the club. I mean, he's on gardening leave, obviously, and due to his contract with Brighton, which I'm not sure the ins and outs of it, but I know that he's got quite a little while. They can dictate when he comes off his gardening leave, so they can leave it till the end of the year.
Yeah.
To then see how it comes off with his, then let him go. I don't think they will be doing anything until they find a replacement for him. But that's a huge blow for Brighton, man, especially with the Graham Potter links to Manchester United in the summer. If they lose both Potter and Dan Ashworth in the same season, it could be the demise of Brighton, which I would love to see.
I think we all would.
Yeah, be fantastic. I'd love to see it. But yeah, that was it in terms of football news and stuff going on at the moment. So we should get into the reviews, I guess. I don't know if you saw any of the games over the weekend, did you? Or the week, I guess.
Not really. I've seen bits and bobs. I've seen scorelines and stuff, but I've not really seen much of the actual footage.
Oh, yeah, fair enough. Well, we'll start with the Spurs game because that is hilarious and you'll love to talk about that one. Yes. Southampton went to the Tottenham Stadium, won 3-2 in the end. It was a pretty crazy game, to be fair. Spurs went ahead. Yeah. I mean, I was hoping for a Spurs win, if I'm being honest, as Southampton are right around where we are in the table. But it wasn't to be. But it is good for banter, I suppose. And I wonder what, actually, I'm there. I'll be at the Tottenham Stadium on Sunday for their Wolves game, so I'll be quite interested to see what the mood's like in and around the ground with a Wolves team that is a very, very capable, good team. We could definitely turn them over if Southampton can. But yeah, Spurs went ahead with a goal through own goal through Jan Benderek, and then Broha, obviously that man Broha, just scoring all the goals for Southampton at the moment. Has more goals this season than Lukaku, so maybe Chelsea will be looking to bring him back in the summer. I wouldn't be surprised. Then yeah, Son got a finish in the 70th minute, a tidy little finish from a Lucas Moura cross before the Saints got 2 goals in quick succession through Elianuse and Shea Adams. Now the big thing was Stephen Bergwijn came very close to being a hero once again for the Spurs. With his he scored a late equaliser, but it was ruled offside. And Conte I don't know if you saw the picture of Conte shushing the crowd after the goal, and then once it was ruled off, you could see him. He's just stood there like, damn, what is going on here? But you always love to see that kind of shithousery. But that's left Tottenham in a bit precarious position, looking for this top 4 battle. Obviously, they felt like they were right in control out of Man United and Arsenal, really, and I guess West Ham with their games in games whatever you call it. I've lost the word. Games in hand. That's it. Games in hands over the teams. But now they've lost 2 on the bounce in the Premier League and sitting 7th at the moment.
That's the thing. They've had 3 games in hand on us at one point. Now they've got no games in hand. We're on equal amount of games. Until we play later this evening, and the same amount of points. We've got 2 games in hand over United, who are 3 points ahead of us, and we've got 3 games in hand against West Ham, who are 4 points ahead of us. So
it'll be a very interesting race for the top 4.
Yeah, it's looking a bit better for Arsenal at the moment than compared to how it was over maybe a week or 2 ago. Yeah.
I mean, results like Spurs fans will be kicking themselves because really, like a result like this is just not what you need. This is not a team that gets top 4 position if you're losing 3-2 at home to Southampton. You just can't be doing that kind of thing, really. And not to say that Southampton are a good team, but they're not. They're a team that Spurs should be rolling over. If we're going to be completely honest. So yeah, interesting times. I wonder what Spurs will do next. I know Kulusevski and Bentancur did get on in the second half. Bentancur looked pretty good, had a few flashes of brilliance, and I think he's just a better Højbjerg, so hopefully they can move him into that position. And I mean, they're still stuck with Harry Winks at the moment. I don't know if there's much you can do with that. I personally don't rate him. I know you definitely won't rate him. No, I don't know. I think you only rate Kane and Son.
The fact that he's a number 8 as well.
That's a bit embarrassing.
Yeah,
it's a bit embarrassing. It takes back to the David Bentley days, even though David Bentley wasn't too bad before. To be fair, he was just a bit of a dick. But yeah, Spurs dropped down to 7th, while Southampton have rocketed themselves up to 10. This mid-table battle as well is wide open. Like, I mean, between us and 10th is only 3 points. Us in 13th and up to 10th is only 3 points. You know, with us, Palace, Leicester, Villa, and Southampton all in there, sort of battling out for that last top 10 spot, I think. So yeah, it should be an interesting end to the season in that regard as well. But Man City, the next game. Man City 2-0 up against. Well, they won 2-0 against Brentford. It was It was a weird one because Brentford could, they did pretty well not to concede for like the first 40 odd minutes. Did well, but at the end, City had so many chances. It could have been so much worse. But Cancelo came close, and I can't remember who else came close, but someone did else come close. But this is, this win after Mahrez's penalty, and then Brentford basically giving City a goal.
Yeah. With
David Raya just kicking it straight to Raheem Sterling, whose shot was deflected. Then Kevin De Bruyne slotted it in. This puts them 12 points ahead of Liverpool, obviously with their even though they've got 2 games in hand. Sorry. So they're on 60 points and Liverpool on 48. If Liverpool can win their 2 games in hand, it's only going to be a 6-point battle. Maybe this title challenge isn't all wrapped up. What do you think about that, Ollie?
I don't know. I think it's still pretty sort of. What's it?
You put your money on City,
8 points, isn't it? No.
12.
No, sorry, I'm lying to you. There'll be a 6-point gap. Yeah. I don't know. I still think City have pretty much got it wrapped up, really, unless they have a real massive sort of decline or they get a load of injuries. Even still, their squad depth isn't bad by any means. So, I still think City have very much got the upper hand at the moment. Who are these games in hand that Liverpool have got against? So obviously 1 game against Leicester tonight. The next game is Burnley.
So their game in hand will be Arsenal. Leicester still one to be confirmed.
Leeds as well, I think. They've got Arsenal and Leeds, I think, are their 2 games in hand.
Oh, fair. But yeah, I guess it would just be 1 again. How does this work? It would just be 1 game in hand, wouldn't it? I guess if once they play tonight.
I think they're 1 game game week 19 on here. So one of their postponed games was the one against Leeds.
Oh yes, of course. Yeah.
So they're playing that on the 23rd.
Okay, so yeah, against Leeds. So you would imagine they'll win. They'll pick up 3 points in that as well.
Yeah,
I guess I do, not to preview too early, but I do think Liverpool will get the job done against Leicester tonight. With the state that Leicester have been in, I can't see them really posing too much of a threat against Liverpool, especially it's at home, isn't it, as well, for Liverpool?
Yes, it
is. It is indeed. It's at home for Liverpool. Yeah, I don't know. I can't see Leicester going away to Liverpool and causing them too many problems. But the most interesting thing, really, from this City thing was, I don't know if you saw after the game, they were talking to Pep about them being the best team in the world, and he said, we are not actually the best team in the world. Chelsea are, because of their Champions League win. And I mean, it's just a good way to deflect.
Yeah, I think he's just trying to be humble and
because they are the best team in the world.
Yeah, they are.
It's pretty close. I mean, the best top 4 teams in the world really right now, probably 3 of them are English, probably City, Chelsea, Liverpool, and then Bayern Munich, I guess. They're probably the head and shoulders teams above everyone else. I can't really put Inter Milan in there, really, because I tell you what, that Serie A title race is bloody wicked. Napoli, Inter Milan, Napoli, and AC Milan are all within a point of each other at the moment, which looks like it's going to go right down to the wire. That should be fun. But City, I mean, they just did this easily. Brentford next game is away at Palace, so hopefully we can go. Be at home. We can roll them over and do a job after our disappointing draw. But we will get onto that against Norwich. But yeah, anything else you wanted to comment about City, Ollie?
Other than the fact that like you've kind of already touched on it, they've had they had quite a few chances, 15 shots, 7 of which on target, 76% possession. Yeah, everything in the stats they just completely dominated. So it's not surprising that they won, but should they have won a little bit more convincingly? Maybe. But again, I don't really think they care too much. They've still kept a clean sheet and still won 2-0. So I think they'll be happy regardless.
Yeah, one thing that really took my surprise in this game was actually John Stones playing right back, which is a bit.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, so interesting. Where they still had Kyle Walker on the bench, just fancying their guy down the right back, I suppose. I don't know why. I mean, he did score in their FA Cup game against whoever the hell they played. I can't remember. He did score in that, so I suppose that kind of makes sense for them. But John Stones at right back. He doesn't seem like the most pacey guy in the world. But I guess against Brentford, you don't really need to do that. Ivan Toney obviously still out. Is he out because of the fuck Brentford thing or whatever?
I think so. Yeah, I don't think he's injured.
I can't quite remember.
Yeah, I think it was like fuck Brentford or something.
Yeah,
I think
which
so.
we haven't even spoken about. That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't think he's
idiot,
injured at all. I've not seen anything about him being injured, but yeah. Let me have a look. Was he? Probably wasn't even on the bench or anything, was he?
No, I don't think so. But yeah, imagine.
No, he wasn't.
Imagine that. Not even playing very well at all this season and saying fuck your team, who very much need you right now. Ivan Toney, that's not going to help you get a move to. Well, obviously Arsenal have been like the most linked team to him, really, that are bigger than Brentford. That's not really going to get you a move to Arsenal.
You never know. He'd probably be made captain.
Yeah, true. The running theme of Arsenal captains is petulance, so you never know. You never know. But one of the funniest games of the I think the whole season, to be honest, was Burnley 1, Man United 1, and I'm annoyed that, well, obviously Bards is away on holiday, so or work holiday, should I say? So we haven't been able to get him on today. I would have loved to have had him on to sort of excuse his way out of this one.
Oh, he's our correspondent on the ground at the moment in Norway, trying to catch up with Haaland. And
he is trying to bring Haaland to Man United. That'd be hilarious.
But
he better get a Norway shirt actually while he's out there.
Yeah.
And I want him to wear that on the podcast. But
get an exclusive quote from some of the Norway players for the podcast.
That's it. Maybe he was a volley chilling. But yeah, Burnley, they did. But I don't know if you like the Pogba. Like, so first of all, basically, what I want to pose a question to you is: should they drop Harry Maguire? Because Harry was at fault for the Varane goal being offside, where he just in a position that he just did not need to be in, trying to block one of the defenders, but it didn't even need to block him. Varane was already through. It was a lovely header from Varane as well, which would have obviously ultimately been the winner. But what do you think? Because I don't know, like with Lindelof or Phil Jones or someone like that who played pretty well in their FA Cup game. I know they ended up losing to Middlesbrough, but Harry Maguire is just so egregious at the moment. Everything he does is so bad.
Yeah.
It's almost like you drop him. He's in his own head.
Yeah, I think so. Because last season, I think he had a pretty decent season. Sort of a couple of games where he wasn't amazing, but all in all, I'd say he still had a pretty good season. This year,
yeah, he was one of the better centre back. Well, at the Euros, he was the best, probably arguably the best defender at the Euros.
And he didn't come in. He started the Euros injured, didn't he?
Yeah, and then obviously last season, Man United had a great defence.
And basically all they've done is add Varane to that defence, and which should make it so much better. But
absolutely, yeah, he's slow. But due to injuries and slow start for him, it's not been too fantastic. But he seems to be getting a grip on sort of the Premier League at the moment, speeding up.
But yeah, I think that whole left side of the defence, the Luke Shaw and Harry Maguire left partnership they've got there is very weak this year compared to last year and compared to like the Euros and stuff. I don't think you said this a couple of times. It might just be a bit of a hangover from the Euros or something, but he's not the same player. He's in his own head definitely, and he should definitely.
They should consider dropping him.
I think they should definitely drop him for at least a couple of games. Make sure he pulls his head out of his arse essentially, and give Lindelof a go, because I don't think Lindelof's been awful. Or like you say, Phil Jones. Phil Jones is extremely dedicated player to the United cause, so why not?
Yeah, definitely. And I say, I agree with Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw had his best game of the season yesterday. He was up and down. Whatever it was on Tuesday, he was up and down that line. He obviously got the assist for the Pogba goal, which was a fantastic finish from Paul Pogba. But yeah, so hopefully maybe this is a bit of a upturn in performance for him, because we've obviously got the World Cup coming up at the end of next year. We're going to need Luke Shaw to be firing for competition at that left back, especially with Chilwell's injury. I don't know who else would it really be up if Luke Shaw and Chilwell are not involved. I guess it's literally like a case of Cresswell, maybe Tyrick Mitchell if he can keep going, because he was bloody fantastic for us against Norwich and has been getting better and better every game. But apart from that, English left backs are going out of my head right now. It'd have to be Cresswell's spot right now, I'd imagine.
Yeah, I think so.
Um,
Maybe Is Livramento a left back?
Livramento is a left back, actually. Yes. So maybe, especially if he goes back to Chelsea and maybe, I don't know if Chilwell's injury is worse and worse and sort of kicks on with that spot. Could be interesting, but he could do it at Southampton as well. There's no reason why he couldn't get in the England team at Southampton.
James Ward-Prowse is getting in.
Exactly, we've seen James Ward-Prowse get in, which is another topic of debate. Should he be in and around the England team? I mean, he is the best deliverer of a ball that we have, but can you play a player
just on that basis, though?
Just on that basis, when he's obviously there's far better players doing everything else.
Yeah,
we've got good enough deliverers. If we've got the likes of Trent and Harry Kane, even putting the ball in, like these players can also do a job. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sure. But Rashford looked way better. He started to kick up again. But yeah, they just couldn't do it. Maguire again just got absolutely turned by was it Weghorst? Their new signing, who put the ball through for Jay Rodriguez, and then he finished nicely. That Weghorst guy is looking like an absolute don. He had a great shot, which troubled De Gea as well on the volley from outside the box. He could be a real threat to the bottom. Well, this relegation battle, I suppose.
Yeah.
Which is definitely heating up. Who we got? Let's have a look for Burnley. We've got obviously Burnley at bottom. Only one win this entire season.
Oh no.
Yeah, they're at the bottom
draws,
of 14. 11 draws. That's kind of crazy. We've got 10.
Yeah.
Brighton have got 12.
Yeah.
Obviously, 1 win, 11 draws, 8 losses. They're on 14 points at the bottom of the table. Watford in 19th, who've played 2 more games. Like, to be fair, Burnley have played less games than all these teams, but then, games in hand. I think we overrate games in hand quite a lot in terms of you're not guaranteed the points. Do you know what I mean? And especially when it's a team like Burnley. Who can show up on a game, but then also just completely butt-bowled. Then you got Watford in 19th on 15 points, and then you got Norwich in 18th on 17 points, and then Newcastle in 17th on 18th, and Everton in 16th on 19 points. That is a real big battle at the bottom down there.
Yeah.
But you never know. The likes of Brentford and Leeds. Brentford have not been very good. They're in the worst form of anyone in the league. 5 losses in their last 5 games.
Yeah, not good.
Conceded 40 goals this season. They could definitely get dragged down into this relegation fight. They played more games than anyone at 24, and they're still being dragged. You got Leeds have got 2 games in hand on them. Everton have got 3. So yeah, they could definitely get dragged into this relegation fight. But they'll need a real result against us. We're coming to Selhurst Park as well. It's going to be a tough one for them to get a result.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Man United, Burnley, a crazy game. Man United are just looking. I don't know. At this point, it's got to be down to the players, right? Because they're playing better under Rangnick, and they're definitely doing more of what they should be doing. But they're just the defense, and there's just these solo effort, these solo mistakes, and the poor effort from the players seem to be what's really putting them under the cosh at the moment. It'd be interesting.
I think
to see
the whole United camp's just a bit unsettled at the moment.
Yeah,
I think
there's players that don't want to be there.
Yeah, exactly. Players that don't want to be there. As soon as they got obviously rid of Volley, there was all these rumours that obviously Martial and Fred, was it, whoever it was that was saying that obviously that people didn't want to be there. Henderson, sorry, were saying that they didn't want to be there. Lingard, all those sort of players. Well, then just as that sort of wave starts to settle a bit, the whole thing with Mesham Greenwood comes up. It's just wave after wave after wave with them at the moment. So I just don't think they're a very settled team at the moment. Maybe things start to settle down soon for them, and they can actually just put their heads down and focus on the football. But at the moment, it just seems like there's just one thing after the other that's sort of pinning them down, really. But like I say, you can only really blame it on the players at the moment.
Yeah. No, I was reading an article today actually about their potential appointments in the summer. Obviously, they're looking at the likes of Mauricio Pochettino, who I think the players want. I just don't see that being a great appointment, if I'm going to be completely honest with you, especially with how they're trying to play now. It's not in the same style. Luis Enrique, name's been thrown in there, and Lopetegui, the Sevilla manager, the current Sevilla manager, who obviously in the La Liga title race, which for me would be an interesting appointment because he does play very much in the style of Rangnick, and their problem at the moment is their defense. You know, they are scoring goals. That doesn't seem to be a problem, and they have Sevilla have the best defense in all of Europeans' top 5 leagues outside of Man City. So you know, there could be a very interesting appointment. But who knows with Man United? They will most likely appoint Poch, which will probably be the bad decision. But that's just the way Man United seem to be rolling at the moment. So yeah, should be interesting. But where Man United are 5th at the moment, obviously, like we're saying, in that top 4 battle. I just don't see them getting it though, man. I do still favour the likes of Arsenal and Tottenham, and maybe we'll see how Wolves do tonight. But Wolves are one of the most informed teams in the league right now.
Yeah,
and they're not looking too bad. They're only 6 points off of West Ham.
Yeah,
they got 4 points. They got 3 games in hand over them. So, you know, man, like you never know. If they beat you guys tonight, they're looking pretty. They're looking pretty. You know, they'll go above you and Tottenham into 6th. So, man, imagine that Wolves just sneakily out of nowhere getting the top 4.
I know. Wolves have had a bit of a up and down start to the season. Obviously, with Jimenez not really getting anywhere. He had a bit of a frustrating start to the season. Obviously, they brought in that Hwang Hee-chan, who's obviously done quite well for them now. They managed to offload Traore, which I think is probably good for them. Just sort of get him off the books for a while. Don't need to worry about playing him just because they think that he should be played. They obviously play him if he wants to, or like because he wants to be played. Sorry, not that he should be played. So yeah, I just think mentally they're in a better place. Congrats to them. Can keep doing it. Just not tonight.
Yeah, big up yourselves. But it's actually quite an interesting thing for Traore that in his first game for Barcelona, he obviously assisted, and that is as many assists as he got in his last 29 games for Wolves. In his first for Barca. So it just shows you the standard of the La Liga.
Yep.
And it depends what you think. Barca are better than Wolves? Very much up for debate at the moment, I think you could say. They're not a bad team. They're pushing themselves back into the race for the top 4, the top 3 probably, not the title. I think that's pretty much wrapped up now.
Yeah.
But you never know, man. You never know.
I think Barca are digging themselves out of this financial hole as well with the whole Spotify name thing taking over the new camp as well. The Spotify new camp, or whatever it's going to be called.
Yeah, it's crazy. So they're just selling their soul, that team.
Yeah, exactly. They're just taking a big old sponsorship deal just to get a load of money in to try and help clear that debt, I think. So, digging themselves out.
They're in for Barca are in for Serge Gnabry in the summer. The Serge Gnabry and Bayern Munich are not coming together very. He basically wants to be paid as much as Sane and Coman, who are on about 240 grand a week, and Gnabry, who's arguably even better than both those two for them this season. It doesn't look like you're going to get paid. I know Liverpool are very interested, and I heard Man United are as well.
Apparently Arsenal, I've heard. But looking at his stats, he's basically got the same stats as Pepe, so I don't really know why we would obviously sort of spend the money on him unless we were getting rid of Pepe.
Yeah, I mean he's a much better player than Pepe is, but you know,
if he's producing the same assists and the same amount of goals and stuff like that, then like it's just like we'd be spending the money to get a better player, but that produces the same amount of sort of goals and assists and stuff. So it's a bit like, it's a tough one. But I think at the same time, would he want to come back to Arsenal? Would we pay him the 240 odd grand a week? Who knows?
Yeah, that's true. And then I guess you have to look at what the games that they're playing, and obviously he's playing in games that matter, shall we say, whereas Pepe doesn't seem to be. He plays in cup competitions, right? Really, is where he shines. So obviously he's playing lesser opposition, but then, you know, I guess Bayern Munich are always playing lesser opposition in the Bundesliga, so you have to take it with what you get. But next game, Villa 3, Leeds 3, a very 6-goal thriller, shall we say, as the old cliche is. With also a late red card for Ezri Konsa, with one of the most stupid fouls I've ever seen in my life. I don't know what it is about Tyrone Mings and Ezri Konsa, but those two are just absolute goofs. Like, they just make the most stupid. Like, Mings was at fault for the first goal, just giving the ball to Dan James, who tucked the ball away, and then Konsa getting sent off right at the death of the game for just no reason whatsoever, just fouling Melier. just for no reason, and it's just so stupid. Now he's going to miss out on the next game. I don't know if I can't remember if it was a straight red or if it was a second yellow, but you know, if that's a straight red,
it was a straight red.
Yeah, straight red. That's 3 games, man.
Yeah.
That's 3 games he's going to miss. It's just so stupid. But yeah, the big talking point around this game was obviously Coutinho, man. He was absolutely fantastic throughout this game. Scored a lovely goal.
Sorry, it was a second yellow.
Oh, okay, so we just missed the one. But even so, it's just stupid behaviour from the lad.
Yeah.
Yeah, Coutinho, like I was saying, yeah, he levelled the scoring with a lovely goal. Yeah, touched one touch, slotted it away into the far corner of the net, and then set up the first Jacob Ramsey goal with a lovely defence splitting pass, and then Jacob Ramsey just doing bits at the moment under Gerrard. Gets 2 goals in quick succession before the break, put them 3-1 up before Dan James then, just as the game is being pulled in for half time, makes it 3-2. A bit of a crazy game. I was just on my phone. I was watching the Palace Norwich game, and I thought it was like a glitch or something, or like they were just changing something, because it was like, oh, Jacob Ramsey, Coutinho, and then Jacob Ramsey and whoever it was that assisted. I was like, oh, maybe they got it wrong, but no, he scored like 2 goals in like I think a minute or something like that, or 2 minutes.
5 minutes it looks like. Jacob Ramsey 38 minutes and 43.
Oh, okay, yeah, there we go. But yeah, doing bits, and then Diego Llorente leveling up, which was just some poor defending. It was from a corner. It's just some poor defending from the back 2 of Mings and Konsa. It's just so disappointing. Mings is such a bad football player, man. And then yeah, couldn't see it through. 3-3 in the end. It's a great result for Leeds to come back and do that, especially with the position they're in. But Gerrard and Villa will be looking at themselves like that's a really wasted opportunity at home to Leeds, who are, you know, currently down in 15th, but you're up in 11th. You know, a win would have taken you straight up to equal points with Brighton.
Yeah, they would have been. Well, they would have been ahead of them, I think.
Not on goal difference, no.
So Villa on 24 points. Yeah, they would have been on 24 points if. Oh no, sorry, yeah, I'm not.
They're on 27 at the moment. They would have been on 20. They would have been on 29. Would have taken them right up there over Southampton into the top 10. But yeah, just not great. I mean, Gerrard's not exactly always been known for his defensive capabilities as a manager, but this is really kind of crazy. I mean, just they're gonna have to get 2 new defenders in. Like, I don't mind. I like Ezri Konsa out of the one. If I had to keep one of them, I'd keep Konsa over Mings for sure. But just stupid shit like them sending off. Just you know, there's just a lack of discipline in that team, especially with those back 2. And
yeah,
don't know how if Tyrone Mings goes to if Tyrone Mings goes to the fucking World Cup over Mark Gay, I'll be so pissed off.
Yeah,
that's just so stupid. I don't see how that will happen, but you never know. You never know what Southgate will do. But yeah, that what does that leave? Oh yeah, it leaves Leeds in 15th. They're just not doing very well, man. I just don't see how they're gonna get.
Apparently,
Where are they going to... I don't think they'll get relegated.
No.
But I can't see them climbing any higher than 15th or 14th. I really can't see them climbing any higher.
Have you heard who's tipped to replace Bielsa if he gets sacked?
Oh, God, who?
Valverde.
Ernesto. Man like Ernesto. That'll be interesting. I just don't see the point in sacking Bielsa, really.
Yeah, I really don't. But unless things start to get dramatically worse and they genuinely start to fall into the relegation zone, then maybe. But I think they're a little bit off that at the moment, so I don't think they've really got too much to worry about with that. But you never know. Yeah,
no, you never know. But it'd be interesting to see. It'd be interesting. I think the relegation battle's gonna be very interesting. Hopefully, Palace, we can dig ourselves. Well, I don't think we're in it, really.
Nah, you guys are all right, I think.
Yeah, we're all right. What are we? 8 points. Yeah, 8 points clear at the moment. But you never know, man. You never know. We need a win against Brentford on the weekend. A convincing win against Brentford for those 3 points. But we'll see how it goes. Right, the next game. Well, we might as well just talk about Palace and Norwich real quick. It was a really hard, as a Palace fan, it was a really hard game to watch because we started so slow. Like, we gave them a goal in 38 seconds, the fastest goal of the season so far. It was just one of them ones like where they broke and Joel Ward just doesn't have the legs. If we had a faster right back, that goal doesn't happen.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down. Do you know what I mean? That's what it comes down to. It's just outpace, could not keep up with the Don. And it was I tell you, the goal was not great. Like the finish, he mishit it as well, which I think actually ended up helping him in the end. So it took it away. Do you know what I mean? It took it further away from Gaeta. But but it was the setback from Ida, or Ida, however you say it. That it was just, I was like, oh, that is actually world class. To be fair, that was an unbelievable setback from him. But yeah, it was just a stupid one. And then we were so lethargic and we're just playing without purpose, without any sort of like, without, just wanting to go and do something. We were controlling the game, no problem. We were the better team. But we just couldn't get anything going in the first half. In fact, I mean, Timo Pukki could have had two. I wouldn't say a hat trick, because the second attempt where he could have headed it, I don't think that he would have turned that in anyway, personally, if he had got his head onto it. But Tyreek Mitchell gets head, and then his third opportunity, which really I can't believe he didn't score from. He takes such a bad touch, which allows Tyreek Mitchell to get in and nab the ball away from him. But I don't know why he just hit it first time, man.
Yeah.
Hit that first time, it's going in the back of the net for sure. But then the second half came out, and I don't understand. I don't know what Vieira must do at half time, but we always play better in the second half.
Yeah.
We always look like a completely different team. Why can't we just do that from the first half? I don't understand. And then, like I was saying in the group chat, I was like, I can't believe I'm saying this, but Joel Ward and Zaha they can't be playing in this team, man, because Joel Ward just could not keep up with anything. He was just making missed touches and stuff like that, and then Zaha wasn't putting in the work rate needed that was representing the rest of the team. Yeah. And he just, he's brilliant, and he is. And he had a couple of shots that were like, it took a deflection, and it was like, oh, okay, well, if he hadn't taken a deflection, maybe that would have, troubled the keeper more or something like that. But then in the second half, Joel Ward was outstanding. He just turned it on again, and he was just Joel Ward that he's been for like the last couple of seasons, just very solid player you don't need to worry about. And Zaha scored an absolute worldie of a goal. Did you see it?
Yeah.
Unbelievable strike, man. When that went in, obviously you can imagine, I'm watching that with my old man. You can imagine what our reaction is when that goes in. Like, it was a bit outrageous.
I can already hear your dad.
yeah, exactly. So, it was an unbelievable goal. And then it was just really unfortunate that penalty. He slips, hits his foot as he's going to take it, and it goes wide. But apart from that, like, we should have had 3 points in that game. And apart from that, mate, we controlled it. We controlled the game. Like, we should have had that game. Obviously, what's his face? Mateta scored a goal, but it was offside in the first half. Not much you can do in that end. So I've been rating Mateta for the last month and a bit now. He's been fantastic. He's been so much better than Benteke has, and I think he's got that starting spot at up top for us at the moment. It's just between Edouard and Zaha on that left. Obviously, Olise's got that right locked down. No one's taking that away from him. Olise scored the most goal involvements only Premier League player in 2022 at the moment, with 3 goals and 4 assists. So hopefully he can keep that form for us in the back half of this season, and keep getting better and better. Obviously, got the assist for the Zaha goal, but I don't know if you've seen this, Ollie, but the reporting on that Zaha penalty has been atrocious. From like the likes of Sky Sports, the Daily Mail, or they're like 0 to 0 and all this kind of thing. It's like, bro, we've had, how many times have we seen a player slip and mess up a penalty, and it's sort of held, there's a bit of tongue in cheek in there, but it's respectful. Do you know what I mean? They're not slating the guy. It's one of those. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And they're just absolutely rinsing him. I don't know what it is, but the press absolutely hate the man, and I don't understand why it is.
Yeah. I just
don't get it.
For the longest time, obviously, I think you agree to this, that he has been your talisman. He has been like Mr. Crystal Palace. You guys have relied on him so heavily now, but. Obviously,
it's been the reason why we stayed in the Prem for so long.
Yeah, exactly. And now, obviously, you're not relying on him so much. And I think that is maybe what's causing a lot of these reporters and stuff to sort of look at him in a slightly different way. If he was still obviously keeping you guys in it every game, and still basically being the sole reason why you guys aren't getting relegated and stuff like that, maybe they go, oh, okay, well, obviously he might have missed that penalty, but he is doing all this other stuff. But since you guys aren't having to rely on him as much, it's not to say that he's taken a step down and he's got any worse, but it's just the fact that
he's our second top goal scorer. He's got 6 goals for us this season in the Premier League.
Exactly.
It's second top goal scorer behind Gallagher.
It's just the fact that obviously you don't have to rely on him. You've got other players now that you can sort of share the workload with. So I think they're using that and taking that opportunity, seeing the fact that you guys aren't relying on him so heavily, and just going, well, okay, well, maybe he's not the same Zaha anymore. Maybe he's this, maybe he's that. Scrutinising him a bit more than sort of they're used to.
That's the thing, is like you see, like a big thing has been his attitude and stuff like that, which I completely understand. It's a completely fair assessment of his attitude, because we see it. He wears his emotions on his sleeve, and I personally, like it sometimes it gets on my nerves when he does complain instead of just getting up and getting straight back stuck into the game. But I'm fine with him wearing his emotions on his sleeve. It shows that he cares. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just a wish in some way he would not, get up and go, and maybe save it until a bit later once the play's broken down, then say something to the referee or something like that. Like
wait till there's a natural pause in the game.
Exactly. But then you see, but then like the goal last night, man. You see, he's still got that in him, like that world-class ability in him, and it's just like fucking hell, yeah, he is a fucking good player, man. He's the best player that's ever played at our football club. For the long, it's 400 appearances now, 11 years. Like he's an absolute, he's a god to us Palace fans. You know what I mean? We love him.
79 goal involvements.
Yeah, exactly. Like we absolutely adore the man.
He got his 80th last night, but 79 of them have been with United. United have been with Palace.
Yeah,
one with United.
Yeah, one with United. Yeah. But no, like I hope he stays. His contract runs out at the end of next summer. But I hope we re-up him and he stays, and maybe isn't in a more of a lesser role right now, because you look at like the way Elise is going, this is going to be his team going forward. Like it just is. Like the kid is an absolute beast. I'm hoping we can hold on to him for as long as we can, but I see him leaving in the next 3 to 4 seasons. We'll see Elise at a top 6 team in the Premier League, hopefully a top 4 team. Yeah. Or hopefully abroad, man. Hopefully not in the Premier League. Hopefully go to a Bayern Munich, go to Real Madrid, do something like that. Like I'd love to see that from a Palace player. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see. I mean, we deserved the win in that game. We beat ourselves, which is the tale of the fucking season for us. Is being our own worst enemy in these situations. But we've got Super Pat Vieira, and I'm confident that we'll. It's the first year back. James McCarthy was on the bench last night. I'm so happy to see that beautiful Scottish man, Jimmy Mack. I can't wait for him to get back in his team. I need Cheikh Kouyaté to get back in that defensive midfield role. He's on that high from winning the AFCON with Senegal. So hopefully we see more of a midfield of maybe it's too early for James McArthur to start, but hopefully we see like Kouyaté, Hughes, and Gallagher as a starting midfield. I'd love to see that for next week. Eze we're really slowly integrating Eze back into the team, which I'm happy with. I'm happy we haven't had to rush him back because it's a hard injury, the Achilles one, to come back from. So hopefully, we can, just take our time with him. We're not desperate to get him back into the team, and I can't remember a time that we weren't desperate to get one of our best players back into the team. So
it's a nice feeling,
it's
isn't
nice
it?
to see. Yeah, it's fucking lovely, mate. I tell you. But the last game to touch on is I guess we should probably talk about the Newcastle beating Everton 3-1 as well. Sorry. Lampard, bro. Lampard. Like I'm actually I'm doing a piece on this at the moment. Is Lampard going to be able to bring him back? Because we've never seen him in this sort of position, right? We've never seen him battling relegation. We've never seen him in this. He's been, battling towards the top with Derby coming up, which he ultimately failed in, didn't get them up, and then battling with Chelsea, got him into the top 4 the first season. And then an interesting thing is that squad got better, but they got worse.
Yeah.
So that's an interesting sort of insight. And then with the players like Dele Alli, is that a right sort of fit? It's only been one game, but he was pretty woeful against Newcastle, bullied off the ball. Donny van der Beek didn't look very impressive either. Obviously, it's only one game in, so we'll take what it is. But it looks like that 92 million's bought him 3 points so far, man, for Newcastle. Kieran Trippier with a wicked free kick to seal the deal. But yeah, I mean, exactly 2 goals. That's what was it? I saw it was Mason Holgate
and Lascelles.
I think it was Mason Holgate assisted Lascelles' own goal, and Lascelles assisted Mason Holgate's own goal, which is just lovely. Just teeing up for each other. We love that at the bottom of the table. But one question I want to pose to you is: do you think both of these teams will stay up? And if not, which one do you think has the more likelihood of going down?
I've now got a
repeat the bottom 3 is Burnley, Watford, Norwich in the bottom 3 right now, with Newcastle and Everton only a point and 2 points clear right now.
I've got a feeling both of them are going to stay up. I'd like to see one of them go down, but I've got a feeling that the bottom 3 as it is, not necessarily in that order, but that bottom three is going to be the three that goes down: Norwich, Watford, and Burnley.
Yeah, I really wouldn't be surprised. I really wouldn't be surprised if that is
Norwich
the
are
bottom
making
three.
some sort of comeback though. They were rock bottom for the longest time, and now they're obviously only 1 point behind Newcastle, who are safe at the moment.
They were bad though, man. They were bad. Apart from that first 20, 25 minutes against us, they were awful. We controlled that game throughout. Like it's crazy to go away to a team like that and just dominate. Do you know what I mean? I mean, we didn't get the result. They sort of Roy Hodgson Palaced us. This is karma, man. This is karma for the way that we played over the last few years on Palace. We played such horrible football and nicked so many ridiculous results. Yeah. We're now getting the karma slapped back right on us.
Well, that's the thing. But before that, they won 2 in the bounce. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah, Dean Smith's got playing better for sure.
Yeah, but then again, obviously Newcastle have won their last 2 and then drawn the two before that. So they've only lost 1 in their last 5.
No, 100%. And I just. Look at Everton right now, man. They lost their last 4 in a row.
I know.
Not looking too much better either under Lampard, we have to say, so far. I mean, they beat Brentford 4-1 in the Cup, but then it's like, that's not going to keep you up. Winning in the Premier League is going to keep you up, and they just got slapped by Newcastle, which is a game that they had to win.
Yeah.
Had to win. And they've got the better team. Let's keep it real. Bruno Guimaraes? I think it's Guimaraes.
Guimaraes, or whatever his name is, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's Guimaraes, something like that. He didn't even play. So, I don't think Did Matt Target play?
Yes, he did.
He did.
Started.
Yeah, so I don't... It's one of them ones, man. It's a tough one. I just don't see...
Guimaraes did come on at some point.
Oh, he did.
He didn't start.
Oh, no, Dan Burn either. So, yeah, like, they've still got players to come through. I just don't know, man. I just don't know if fucking Lampard is the guy, man.
I forgot Dwight Gale plays for Newcastle.
Yeah, I miss Dwight Gale, man. I'll always love Dwight Gale. For his time past, but I don't see how Watford stay up, and I honestly don't see how Burnley stay up, if I'm going to be completely honest. Norwich are the only ones right now that I'm like, maybe if they just can really, squeeze some results out of it and shithouse some results out, like they did against us. Yeah, should be interesting, but I do think it could get to the point, where Newcastle and Everton just get a wide enough berth. But who knows, man? Who knows? So you're very much in the boat of both will stay up right now.
I think so at the moment, yeah.
Yeah, I have more faith in Dean Smith than I do Eddie Howe. I still just don't rate Eddie Howe as a manager whatsoever. He's the worst in terms of defensive displays I've ever seen. He's conceded the most goals in back-to-back seasons in Premier League history with Bournemouth.
Yeah, but I think
the second one ultimately got them relegated.
It would be a lot more impressive, I think, for Norwich to stay up than it would be for Newcastle, considering where Norwich were and where they are now, and obviously the amount of money that Newcastle spent in January compared to Norwich. I think
if Norwich, 92 million. If you spend 92 million in January and you don't stay up, that's pretty crazy.
That's it. But obviously they had a lot of work to do, that Newcastle team, but they were still ahead of Norwich. So I think it would be a lot more impressive if Norwich stay up, and I'd be happier if Norwich stayed up, to be fair.
I definitely want Watford to go down, despite having Roy Hodgson as their manager. I just hate the way that they do their business. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
Everton would be jokes, man. Everton would be really jokes.
Roy Hodgson probably won't make it to the end of the season, to be fair.
Yeah, I was.
He won't be their manager when they get relegated. So.
Yeah, I was talking to my tutor about that actually earlier, and we were saying about they can't. Surely they can't fire him before the end of the season. Like there can't be any managerial firings before the end of the season in that bottom 5, bottom 6.
Yeah.
Because there's just what's the point? You know what I mean? What is the point? But on to the last game, West Ham versus Watford ended in a 1-0 win for West Ham with a Jared Bowen.
Who else?
Well, deflected shot from outside of the box. The guy has been the best English winger this season. He has to be not only going, but right now starting for England at the Euros. I don't see how he isn't.
He's got the second most amount of points on the Fantasy League at the moment, just behind Salah.
Yes. And your boy has him. Jared Bowen, you have probably... I think it's Bowen and Cancelo are the reasons why I am top of the league at the moment. Sprinkling a little Reece James in there before he was injured. He was doing bits for me as well. But
he's nearly back, to be fair, apparently.
He is nearly back. Well, he had a minor... I know he's got the flu, which is another little minor setback.
He's a 50% chance at the moment, I saw the other day. But then I was looking at getting him in, but I thought, well, the only person I'm going to take him out for is Thiago Silva. And at the moment, Thiago Silva's
no
actually
point.
there's no point. And Thiago Silva's actually got more points than James has this season so far. So.
Yeah. I was reading up about it, and Tuchel's also adamant that he's not rushing him back. He's like, even if he is ready and stuff like that, he's not going to be throwing him in the lineup straight away and stuff like that, which is completely fair enough. I completely understand it. You don't want that to have a knock-on effect for the rest of his career. He's such an amazing player. But yeah, I mean, Watford just had nothing about him in this game, from what I could tell. Like, I don't understand where they're going to get the goals from, and they're defending a bit better. Like, Watford under Ranieri or under Xisco would have lost this 3 or 4-0. Under Hodgson, a bit more resilient at the back, but they offer nothing going forward. Absolutely nothing.
Well, Hodgson's more of a defensive-minded manager anyway, I think.
Yeah, and they're going to have to rely on the likes of Ismail Assar and Emmanuel Dennis to just do anything, like we were with Eze and Zaha for the longest, and like players like Townsend and that, just relying on them to do something. I just don't see how you can do it with this Watford team, honestly. I don't see how you can do it.
Yeah, Dennis didn't even play.
Yeah, no, exactly. Like, it's not great. But
he wasn't even on the bench. Is he injured or something?
Maybe. 'Cause he wasn't at AFCON, but I know that was down to like a bit more of a weird reason rather than anything.
Yeah.
To do with just Watford not letting any of the players go to fucking AFCON, which is crazy.
We need you.
Yeah, and they're not even. They don't even like. There's just no difference between the two. They're still losing. So what does it matter? But yeah, I mean, West Ham, they should be. I still my tip is West Ham for the top 4. I really hope they do it, because that's the only way they're keeping Declan Rice. Chelsea are supposedly getting ready to table a £100 million bid in the summer, which, I mean, I don't see how he's worth £100 million. I don't. He's a great player. 80 million, fine, 100%.
Yeah,
but 100 million.
CDMs just don't go for that money.
No.
But then, to be fair, like, goalkeepers don't go for that sort of money. But you see players like Alisson went for 70 odd mil, didn't he, or 60 something mil.
Yeah.
And yeah, transfer window is just going in crazy ways at the moment, I guess. Yeah. Even if, well, COVID obviously took a little bit of a hit, but yeah, back in the day, you wouldn't see. Even still, you don't see CDMs going for that amount of money. Like Kante, you wouldn't see going for that money, and he's arguably the best CDM in the Premier League.
Well, I mean, I think the most expensive one's Rodri at 56 million, and you look at 56 million for Rodri, like, yeah, fair.
Yeah,
I can understand how you pay 56 million for Rodri,
but that's also nearly half of what they're asking for price.
Yeah.
So,
exactly. So, and Rice is, and then I guess Rice is a bit more of a DM now. I'd say, like, you could definitely slot him in that midfield too that Chelsea play with either your Kante or your Kovacic or your Jorginho or whatever. You could definitely slide him in there, and I really hope they do get him, just for pure selfish reasons. That if they get Rice, that makes it a hell of a lot easier for us to get Gallagher permanently. And that's pretty much the only reason. Otherwise, I'd love Rice to stay at West Ham, if I'm going to be completely honest.
But then, do you think that they would just potentially loan Gallagher out again for a season and potentially look to get rid of Kovacic or Jorginho or someone like that?
I don't know, because Gallagher doesn't really play in that sort of midfield too. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's better off roaming up around the top, and they've got so many players in that position. I think they'd be stupid not to give him a chance.
Yeah. And
prove himself, especially as like a sort of 2 behind the striker, maybe with a Mason Mount. Like, imagine Conor Gallagher and Mason Mount behind the striker. It'd be outrageous, wouldn't
it? Yeah, behind a good striker, not Lukaku or Werner.
Yeah, exactly. Behind like a Haaland.
Yeah.
Which won't happen. But you never know. It's Chelsea. I think their sights will be set on keeping Rudiger and signing Declan Rice, I imagine. But yeah, that's the previews, boys. That's the previews. That's the reviews. Should we quickly run through some previews, get some results, boys? What are you thinking?
Well, yeah, the Arsenal lineup's actually just come out.
Oh, go on.
So starting for Arsenal, Ramsdale, Tierney, Gabriel, Ben White, and Cedric Suarez in the back. Xhaka, Partey, Martinelli, Odegaard, Saka, and Lacazette. And then Wolves have got...
Oh, Odegaard's starting. Fuck, I'm not getting... Jacob Ramsey staying on the bloody bench for me then.
Wolves have got Sarr in goal, Kilman, Cody, Saiss, Semedo, Dendoncker, Neves, Marçal, Trincao, Jimenez, and Podence.
Okay, interesting. It's gonna be a bloody good game, man.
Yeah. At the moment, according to this Google thing that I'm looking at, Arsenal have a 42% win probability rate.
Ooh.
And there's a bigger
nice.
there's a bigger chance of a draw than there are for Wolves winning at the moment, apparently. So I'm on the Arsenal.
I just looked at the. Wait, is this true? Yes. Come on. Oh no, he's on the bench. Shit. Okay, Mo Salah's on the bench for Liverpool, and that's good because I'm playing Char this week.
Oh.
Yeah. So I'll just quickly run you through the Liverpool team: Alisson, Trent, Matip, Van Dijk, Robertson, Thiago, Fabinho, Curtis Jones. So he's also got Henderson, who's not playing. Fantastic. Jota, Firmino, and Luis Diaz. New boy starting up top, and then you've got Schmeichel, Luke Thomas, and Ndidi's playing centre back. Interesting. Amate, James Justin. Then you've got Dewsbury Hall, Samare, Albrighton, Madison, Lookman, and Daka up top. That's gonna be very interesting. I'm gonna put both of them on my two screens.
Yeah. Mane and both the guys in the AFCON final, both on the bench. Yeah.
Both on the bench. That's great. Hopefully that means hopefully that means I can pick up the dub against Char this week in Fantasy League. I need a dub after losing to you last week. But let's quickly run through the previews. I'm just going to go through and get the results and anything you want to say on the games, Ollie. Obviously Chelsea Arsenal has been postponed, but if this was playing, Ollie, how would you be feeling about this one?
Chelsea will be winning.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I would agree. But Man United, Southampton. Man United at home. Obviously, Southampton coming off that great win against Tottenham. They'll be riding high.
I'd like to say a draw, to be honest.
I feel like it's got draw written all over it.
Yeah.
Like a 1-1.
United are obviously going to be on a bit of a low after the draw with Burnley, but alternatively, Southampton are going to be on a bit of a high after beating Tottenham. So, yeah, I'd like to see a draw. A 1-1.
Yeah, I could definitely see a draw. Oh, we're at Brentford. I lie. We're not even at Selhurst Park. It's at Brentford. Oh, that's a bit different. Watford, Brighton. Watford hosting Brighton. This one as well, I could see being a draw.
Yeah, I can see the draw or maybe a 2-1 Brighton or something.
Brighton just lack goals, don't they? Like they just can't seem to score for love nor money. So, and Watford is just so bad. I might call this a 0-0. Got a resolute Watford defence.
Let's have a look quickly. To be fair, Watford have only drawn 3 games so far this season. But obviously, alternatively, Brighton have drawn 12. So, yeah. No, I think Brighton might get a sneaky win, if not a draw.
Yeah. I think I'm going to go for a 0-0. I reckon that's going to be a 0-0 boring ass game. Then we've got Brentford at home to Palace. I'm obviously backing the boys. I just think we'll be a bit fresher. We'll have the likes of Chiarte. Hopefully James McArthur coming back. Brentford obviously still be without Ivan Toney. They've just been lackluster. They've been on a downward trajectory for the last few weeks. I think we'll get the job done, man. I think we'll be picking up another win away. I'm gonna go 2-0 Palace.
Fair.
I think we'll win.
I'm gonna go 3-1 Palace.
Ooh.
I think Brentford will score, but I think you guys will still win fairly convincingly.
Yeah, I can see that. I reckon Elise is going to get a goal or two. I reckon Mark Gay will get a goal.
Odson-Edouard will get a goal, I think.
Ooh, okay, I like that a lot. Right, Everton at home to Leeds, a huge game. A huge game.
I think this has got draw written all over it. I think.
Yeah. I think this is going to be the tale of the week, man. I'm feeling draws for pretty much most of these games, you know.
Yeah.
I think this will be a 1-1 or a 2-2. Both will leak some goals, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I reckon that will be the tale of that. Norwich, Man City. Can't see Norwich doing really anything. City.
Well, I don't know. It's like Carrow Road, so you never know.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. No, Norwich, I see Man City winning this 2-3-0 comfortably,
for sure.
like never really in doubt. Tottenham Wolves, the game I will be at. I will. I'll be in the Tottenham end, but I am sort of hoping that Wolves win. I'll be honest with you, but I think Tottenham will bounce back from this Southampton loss. I think Conte will bollock the absolute fuck out of that team. And I think you'll see like Kulusevski and Bentancur start, who are obviously just an upgrade on the players that they have. Maybe not Kulusevski, but I think Bentancur will start in that midfield, which I think will just give him more stability. He looks impressive ever since in his first 2 appearances for the team, the limited minutes he's had. So yeah, I want Wolves to win, but I do think Tottenham will get the win here. Well, I think it'll be like a 1-0.
I think it depends on what happens in tonight's game. If Wolves beat Arsenal tonight, then I reckon they might have a good chance of getting some sort of result against Tottenham as well.
Yeah, you know what? I back that. If Wolves beat Arsenal tonight, Wolves will beat Tottenham, I think. Yeah. Otherwise, I think Tottenham will win.
For content for the podcast, I am going to need you to shout, what do you think of Tottenham?
God. Yeah. I was genuinely debating wearing my Palace shirt there.
Wear an Arsenal shirt.
And just sit in the stand just with my Palace shirt on. In a sea of white, it's just a red and blue stripes.
Quick story time. I got in. My next door neighbours are Palace fans, and then when I was younger, he was also my godfather. Him and his son took me to Palace QPR. It was at QPR, and but they didn't tell me. It was a surprise. And obviously, I put my Arsenal shirt on for the day, put a jumper over the top, and they had no idea I was wearing my Arsenal shirt underneath, and I didn't even know that I was going. And then I was really hot when I was at the game, so I went to go take my jumper off, and they were like, "No, keep that on, mate, keep that on."
Yeah, absolutely.
Good time.
I don't think you just get bantered. You wouldn't get any problem. You just
I was about maybe 7 at the time, so I don't think anything would have happened.
No, definitely not. No,
QPR fans might have battered a 7-year-old. But...
True, QPR fans are pretty mad. No. Right, Newcastle, Aston Villa. This is a tough one. Is that Newcastle? If it was at Villa, I'd be like, Villa got this. Is that Newcastle? Villa leaking goals, Newcastle leaking goals.
Maybe another draw.
I'm going to go 3-2 Villa.
I was thinking maybe either a draw or 2-1 Villa.
Okay. Yeah, I'll back that. And then
2-1 or 2-2.
2-1 or 2-2, nice. Liverpool, Burnley. But is that Burnley? Is that Turf Moor? But I can't see Burnley doing what they did to United here. No. Liverpool will get the win. Mo Salah and Mane will be another week fresher.
Yeah.
I just can't see them not winning this one, man. If I'm being honest. I reckon it'll be like a 3-0, 4-0.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe 2 or 3.
I'll go for the big scores. And then we've got Leicester versus West Ham. That's an interesting one, Leicester versus West Ham. Is that
West Ham? Is that Leicester?
King
Power?
King Power, that's it, King Power. That one went out of my head. Is that King Power?
I think West Ham will do it.
I got a draw in this one. I got like a 1-1 or a 0-0. One of them ones.
1-0 West Ham.
1-0 West Ham. I rate it.
Okay.
No, we can do the midweek. There's a midweek one with Man United Brighton as a thing. I think.
I hope they both lose.
Yeah, can they both? I wish the two teams could lose in the same game.
Yeah.
I think United will win. It's at Old Trafford. I think United will get like a 1-0, 2-0 win or something like that.
For sure.
If I'm being honest, but yeah, that's it. So we're looking at mainly draws this weekend, my man. It's going to be it could be a potentially boring week of football.
You know what? This might be a good week to put an acca down because you get quite a lot of quite decent odds for draws on an acca. So stick a little pound down. See what happens.
Sure, I might do that. I might do a few draws, a whole acca of draws. But God, that's just wishing for a boring week of football, isn't it?
Oh yeah, true.
But,
boring week of football, but a healthy bank account.
Yeah, that's what. Oh God, need it. But yeah, that's been it, guys. Thanks everyone for watching. Thank you to Ollie for being here today.
No worries.
Yeah, we'll be doing this again probably. Well, so either Tuesday or Wednesday next week. I imagine it will either be Tuesday or Wednesday. That's sort of where we're the 2 days that we're aiming at.
Do you mean Thursday?
To do one of the. Huh?
Thursday.
Did I say that?
You said Tuesday, Wednesday.
Oh, sorry, Tuesday, Thursday. Yeah, it'd be either a Tuesday or the Thursday next week, but we'll let you know. No, we're going to be we need to be a bit more better on social media and start actually advertising ourselves and stuff like that. Let's just start using it a bit, promoting ourselves a bit more. But yeah, we'll see you guys next week. Thanks everyone for tuning in. And if you are listening to this on Spotify or not Twitch, thank you for tuning in a bit later. whenever this is coming out. I should just be out on the weekend at some point.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, sick. All right. Well, well, yeah. Make sure to like, subscribe, follow us. You know where we are: Twitch, YouTube, Spotify, Facebook, Instagram, all of that. Apple Music. I can't forget the Apple Music listeners. Yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to subscribe, like, and all that goodness. And we will see you soon. Footy Fetish podcast is out. Bye.
Bye.